Every year, there are thousands of people diagnosed with ADHD. What exactly is ADHD, one might ask? ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. Many people, diagnosed or not, are not well educated on this disorder. If one were to conduct research on ADHD, they would realize that there are many alternatives that will help in the long run, rather than giving the immediate and temporary results that the medication gives. These alternatives have been proven time and time again that they are more effective than the medication in terms of long run in the future. There are too many people diagnosed with ADHD who are prescribed medication and taking it. In this speech, I'm going to tell you the amount of people diagnosed yearly with ADHD, the medications that are most prescribed for ADHD, and the alternatives that people can turn to rather than resulting to medication. There are over thousands of people diagnosed with ADHD each year. According to the statistics given by the U.S. government in 2005 in their online article, Mental Health in the United States, that 7.8% of the U.S. children aged 4 through 17 are diagnosed with ADHD. 4.3% of these 7.8% are prescribed medication and are using it. This means that 4,418,000 children aged 4 through 17 in the United States are diagnosed with ADHD, and 2,473,000 are prescribed medication and using this medication. This number is way too high, especially for this age group of children, ages 4 through 17. This is such a critical time and period in these children's lives, and if they were to change their lifestyle and use the alternatives that are given, they would have a better chance of dealing with their disorder in the long term, in the future, rather than getting the, again, short and immediate results that the medication gives. There are many different medications that are given to people that are diagnosed with this disorder. 4 of the most prescribed medications are Adderall, Concerta, Ritalin, and Strattera. According to Ben Martin's 2010 online article, Treatment for Attention Deficit Disorder, there are many side effects that come along with taking these medications. A few of these side effects include depression, anxiety, decreased appetite, troubles in sleeping, psychosis, sometimes tics, paranoia, headaches, and gastrointestinal upset. The alternatives and the effectiveness of the alternatives definitely outweigh the negative factors and the side effects of the medications provided to the people. These children not only have a hard enough time going to school and concentrating, and when they have to deal with the side effects of the medication, that just adds on to what they have to deal with. So it makes it even more difficult. So if a child were to use the alternatives, they wouldn't have to deal with these side effects and try to overcome the side effects during school and also concentrate on their schoolwork. I briefly touched throughout this speech that there are many different alternatives that people can use, rather than resulting to medication as their answer. According to Lawrence Robinson, Melinda Smith, and Gene Siegel, in their 2010 online article, ADD, ADHD Medications, Are ADHD Drugs Right for You or Your Child? They state that there are many different alternatives that people can turn to, rather than running straight to medication that gives the immediate results. Some of these alternatives that they state are getting enough sleep, having a healthy diet, making all-around smart lifestyle choices, behavioral therapy, and exercising. Just adjusting their lifestyle and their routine will have a great impact on their symptoms of the disorder. They would get into the routine and it would just be an everyday occurrence. It wouldn't be something like remembering to take the medication, and it would just be a normal occurrence for them daily. So this is why the alternatives help in the long run, because it turns into a lifestyle rather than taking the medication and remembering to take the medication. Because once the person stops taking the medication, then all of the symptoms of the disorder come back. So this is also why the alternatives prove to be more helpful than the medications. So as you can see, there are way too many people that are diagnosed with ADHD. Although the medications do work very well, people should be more educated on ADHD, so they do know that there are alternatives and they don't have to run to the medication, that they can use the alternatives and they will help in the long run and future to deal with their disorder. So I hope my speech has informed you about the number of people diagnosed and exactly what ADHD is. And I hope it has also helped you to learn that there are alternatives. And if one was to research, they would realize this rather than just running straight to their first option out the door.